Amazing, it worked the first time. All right, let me share my document. Okay. So if you could please go ahead and sign in. And one of the first things we have going on for this month is Hacktoberfest. So one of the things, if you want to participate, I believe it's 4 pull requests that you need to do. And if we look at the Ortelius site, there is a starting point under, I believe, events. Yeah. So one of the things that you'll have to do is sign up with DigitalOcean. If you look at our pieces here, you'll be able to get to the details. There's a list out here of where the issues are, but in general, you could pick up any issue under the Ortelius /Ortelius repo and go ahead and pick what you want to work on. If you're having problems like assigning yourself, drop a note in Discord just so we can get that resolved for you, because sometimes it's just you're missing from one of the teams inside of our GitHub organization. Also, before you start doing your pull requests, go out to DigitalOcean and put in the start hacking piece. What this does is links your GitHub handle over to DigitalOcean so they can watch your pull requests as well. And then if you're doing, if you're doing any on the, when I say PR side, if you're merging or approving anything, you need to make sure, and if you're a person actually doing the PR, you want to make sure that you see a Hacktoberfest dash accepted in the tag, or in the label, I should say. Let me find closed ones. I'll show you what that. So when you go and do your pull request, actually it's gonna be on the pull request side, closed. We'll see, you should have Hacktoberfest accepted. I don't know why I'm not seeing the one that we did yesterday here. I'll have to double check that. But basically, there's a label out there that you want to add as part of your PR. I'll make sure that everybody gets the credit. I think we can go back, loop back around if we missed anybody on that. So please go ahead and sign up for Hacktoberfest. If you don't see anything that you're interested in and working on that's already tagged for Hacktoberfest, and you can go ahead and create a new issue for anything you know that needs to be done, that will work as well. So whatever's tagged out there as Hacktoberfest or in the project Hacktoberfest are just suggestions on that level. We have the service catalog. You can go ahead and sign up and start playing with the basically like the SaaS version, which will bring you to our dev.ortelius.io. This is what we're running off of our cluster, Kubernetes cluster in Azure. So there's not a lot of horsepower behind it. That's how come it's a little bit slow today. We may bump that up a little bit. And there's other things like the optimization on the Nginx front. It hasn't been performed for this site. If you do want to sign up for that, if you go to the Ortelius homepage, you'll see a sign up section here. Make up some company name, project name. The username just needs to be unique across all the users in the dev.ortelius.io website. So fill that out, and we'll go ahead and preload the hipster store sample code. That's working now, and today I'm going to wrap up where we're going to be loading in service catalog data as well. So service catalog, like the CVEs, the licenses, will be part of that project. So you'll have data to work with on that front. So please sign up. If you find any issues, go ahead and just open in the Ortelius/Ortelius site, and we'll get that taken care of. For the service catalog and Hacktoberfest, there is a lot of documentation changes that we need to do. They're not like monumental. They're a couple paragraphs, and we're working on a way to do a dev version of our documentation site. So that is going to be in our Azure cluster, being routed through Istio. So if anybody's interested in doing a little bit Istio work, let me know, and I could use some help on that front.
Steve, this is Ujjwal.
Yep.
What kind of work are you looking for on Istio? Like, you want us to set up Istio and stuff like that?
We have Istio running. What we need to do is push a second image for the documentation container, and then set up some service routes, basically a virtual server with some destination routes in it. It's not huge, but just need to get the new container image out there and be able to set that new routing up at the virtual server level inside of Istio.
Okay, I think my company might be able to pick it up.
Okay,
but I'll discuss with you further later after the call.
Yeah, it's probably maybe a half hour's worth of work, hour tops, first to add in some of the routing, so we can bring that up. So I will touch base with you after this meeting, and we'll see what we need to do. Okay. The GitOps is moving along, and I believe Sasha is going to write out our POC around or Captain Ortelius and Argo and Git, obviously, along with Brad, Amit, and Ujjwal. And also, I believe Utkarsh, you're doing some work on the Captain side, so that's moving along pretty good. I believe Adam from Dynatrace is helping on the Captain side. So that's going to be our next project after we wrap up the service catalog, is moving into the GitOps world. So that's coming along, moving pretty well on that front. We did some podcasts, and I believe there's going to be some more that are coming down the pipeline. There, Siddharth did create a form. I don't have the form link here. If anybody finds it, if you could drop in the link here for
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, so the form will give you some ideas in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, pretty short podcasts. We're not going to do hour-long podcasts on that level. Also, I believe Sime, Sasha, and Sergio are looking to do what they're calling office hours. That's going to be a little bit more in depth that is going to be like an hour long-ish. So that's being proposed, and they're working through the logistics of how that's going to go, what we need to do from if it's going to be a video record, or if it's just going to be a podcast, those type of things. So and then on the other part, we are going to have our governance board. So self-nominate yourself or nominate somebody else.
Yeah, I'll take over that, Steve. I've got this stuff up.
Okay. So let me stop sharing. Give it over to Tracy.
All right. All right. Let's finish the discussion on the podcast. Here is, I just resent the podcast form to everybody through the shared the Google Groups list. And there it is. It's in the edit mode because I have it. Let me see. That might be wrong. Copy. Let me see. Short URL. This is the link to send it. So somebody click on that link there. Make sure it's not an edit. It's something you can update. It's not in my edit mode.
Yeah, let me jump over that.
I'll look into it.
It looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking normal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was something Siddharth worked on some time back. And it's ready to go. And we've got some podcasts up there. So let's hope that we can get some folks signing up. Okay, let's talk about the two other things that we really need to chat about. All right, the other is the governance board nominations. We only have one response so far. So please think about, we have 4 responses for the committee chairs, which is great. I thought it would be easier to fill spots for the governance board since that's only probably 4 meetings a year. The committee chairs will be much more active. But if you've ever thought about being on a governance board, remember the governance board will be, we need 6 individuals to step up. You'll figure out if you're going to be in a 1-year term or a 2-year term after you get elected. And 3 people will just volunteer to go through a re-election. Does anybody have any questions about this, or is there any particular hesitancy to get yourself nominated? And by the way, that one nomination is from me. I nominated somebody, so nobody's nominated other than myself.
Didn't you get my ones? I nominated 2 people.
That was for the committee chairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the link for this one?
Hi, Anne Marie. So happy to have you. Let me do that same thing I just did.
That'd be great. Thanks.
And one of the nice things on being on a governance board is it's definitely a resume builder.
Well, any of this work is, but the governance board, does carry a little bit more, I don't know, notoriety. And there are heavier discussions around it. The committee chairs just have, more work to do because you're involved in the calls on a regular basis. So I just, Anne Marie, I just put that link in the chat.
Tracy, I haven't got a chance to read this, but what would be the role of a governance board member with the product?
Let me pull that up too. Let's see, it's under blogs. It's under, I think I put it under news. Here is the, oh no, that's not right. That is agreements blog. Oh, you know what? It's in guidelines. Here are the guidelines. But basically the governance board. So if we were ever to want to go beyond being an incubating project, we have to have a governance board set up. It's part of your graduation requirements. We have a long way to go to become a graduated project, but we would like to be able to start building out the governance board now and have a history for it. For the most part, the
Okay.
governance board, the bylaws and the how the governance board works, basically their responsibility are to hold meetings once a quarter, address any issues that the community may be running into, whether it be at least talk about these things, whether it be not being able to get releases out, more outreach, these types of conversations and how to better manage the Ortelius community. They also have the role of within themselves, basically identifying officers. So there'll be 7 members of the governance board. I know it's a big board, but the problem is with you have a small board, sometimes it's hard to get everybody on a call, and you only need a quorum. And if you have 4 or 5, you have a quorum of 3. I have found that 3 people struggle making decisions. So the more we can get, the better. And so they would define these officer roles or any other officer roles. These are just suggested roles. For example, security officer, somebody who really is looking at any security issues that we might be having with the platform. Somebody who is pushing the releases, somebody who's managing the roadmap. And we've copied a lot of this from the Jenkins community, which seems to run pretty well. Then there's going to be non-voting board members. So if you are a ambassador chair or champions chair, you are allowed to attend the governance board meetings, but you don't have you can't vote. You can certainly express your opinion and encourage the board to vote a certain direction, but you're a non-voting member. You can provide a non-binding vote, which means you can say what you would vote for, but it's not going to be binding. And then the other job is to make sure you hold elections. So you want to be able to, you have to hold the elections for the chair positions, and you have to hold elections for 3 new members every year, or at least the goal is to have a rotating board. So if, more than some people may just say, look, I need to drop out this year. I'm too busy to do this. So you have 3 members this first time that will only be serving a 1-year term. And that will be sorted out amongst you once you're elected. So really, it's not that heavy of a job. It may be if you are looking at finding folks or signing up to be one of these roles. So the governance board has the ability to say, none of us want to take on these roles, but we are going to bring somebody in as an officer, a security officer, and that security officer then would be added as a non-binding member, a non-voting board member.
And just to give you a little bit of background, I've been, because I'm on the CDF TOC, the Tecton project is going through this where they're getting everything lined up because they're trying to move out of incubating into a graduated project. So like the security officer is working with the Linux Foundation and a third party or company to do an audit, a security audit of all the Tecton code. It doesn't mean that the security officer is actually doing the work themselves. They are just the go-between from the project to the Linux Foundation and the third-party vendor. And the Linux Foundation is going to pay for all that to help them graduate. But that's just like an example of something that that the officers end up doing at that level. So it's not a huge, like 8 hours a week or anything like that type of roles for at the officer level. Like Tracy was saying, the committee chairs will be more involved in the day-to-day and have more work to do on that level.
Got it. I'll most probably I'll take up the board member role, Tracy. I'll Give me some time to think about it, and I'll sign it up once I make up my mind.
Self nominations are encouraged.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you don't have to be for the board, in particular on the board, you do not have to be a committing kind of member. You do have to be part of the Google groups to vote because once these nominations come out, we'll put a vote together, and you have to be part of the Google groups to be able to vote. Only the Google groups, anybody in Google groups would be given access to the ballot. But you don't have to be a Google Groups member to be part of our governance board. So for example, Siddharth reached out to Anne Marie, who is with Red Hat now, right? Anne Marie, you're officially with Red Hat on the Red Hat side.
Yep.
And I'm going to reach out. I'm thinking about reaching out to a couple of people at the Linux Foundation to potentially be on our governance board. I'd like to reach out to Brian Dawson, for example. So if you know of individuals that you feel would be good governance board members, then reach out to them and nominate them. And remember, they don't have to be active in our regular meetings. They don't have to be committers. If they have the skill level for a governance board level person, then certainly reach out to them.
Okay.
Unusual, if your company is going to be working as committers, I would encourage you to be to nominate yourself on the board.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's what I wanted to kind of talk
Yeah.
through with Steve and you later. Okay.
And you know who else would be great to be on our governance board, but we haven't heard from him in a while, is Chicks, Christopher Hicks. I reached out to him, so if anybody else wants to ping him, let's see if we can encourage him, because he always had really good suggestions, and is that kind of a person that would be really great to be on the board. He might say that it feels like it's going to be too much work. I know he's super busy with his new role, but I pinged him, so if anybody feels inclined, ping Chicks and see if we can't get him to be on the board.
And obviously, like with the way our community kind of runs, is if you want to be on the governance board, but you're not quite 100% sure, don't be scared. We'll be happy to help you out, to give you the backing that you need and the confidence to be on the board. Just like when Sasha was messing up our Git repo so bad, he was able to survive, and now he's a pro at it.
Exactly. Steve's really smart with Git, promise. And he's kind.
Okay, now we also have the other thing to talk about is December. And I thought here we go. There is a shared doc out there, and let me make sure everybody has it again. I thought for sure that I did this. I shouldn't be doing this the way I'm doing it because it's showing emails. Everybody should have access to this. So if you're interested in, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 speakers. And I'm trying to look for a guest speaker. I'm thinking about reaching out to there's 2 women at solo.io. They're the Istio folks. I thought it'd be interesting to get a lesson on service mesh for our as a guest speaker. But I'll continue to reach out to see if we can bring a guest speaker in for that. The schedule will be, we'll do our standard beer and donuts, and we will hand out the last badges over the last 6 months. So Siddharth, I'm probably going to have to reach out to you to get some help on getting the ambassador badges together. We have then I'm going to ask for the guest speaker to speak between 8:45 and 9:15. And then we'll do 4 30-minute presentations. We have reached out to
I
one of you to
I think it
do.
was Aisha.
Aisha, yeah, I reached out to Aisha to do this one, a high-level walkthrough of the Ortelius architecture. But if you have any other topics that you're interested in doing, we need 3 of you to take one on. And notice this year I added some more things about getting involved or learning Ortelius. One of this, getting yourself set up to start contributing code to Ortelius, would be an excellent one for somebody to take on. And the other one I think was one of my favorite is why CD needs a microservice catalog. And then I think I did one connecting Ortelius to your Jenkins pipeline. Those would be ones that I would encourage. But if you have other topics that you want to do and you want to just put the topic out here, just add your name and the topic that you want to do. And if we have more than 4 of you that want to do this, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and record them and post them out as on demand. After we can continue this, is closes at 12:45, but if we want to do more in the afternoon, we can certainly do that. But I think last time we did it, I think that the time slots were pretty good, don't you think, Sergio?
Yeah, it was surprisingly
Yeah.
good timing for everything. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. So I think half a day is more than enough. So we can figure out what we'll do with those other talks. We might even make them podcasts, which would be easier because you don't have to do a presentation. So think about doing that. That's December the 8th. We have a great time. And we just need to pull this together. So we just need to get the first task is to get everybody lined up as speakers. And if you have an idea for a guest speaker, please let me know. And that's all I have. Those are the 3 big things that we're working on is Hacktoberfest, getting the governance board nominations lined up, and working on the December 8th event.
Do we have an official title yet for the December 8th event?
I just call it the Microservice Visionaries.
Okay, we're doing it.
Yep, I'm going to keep it. We
Can
could
you
always
drop that link in?
Yeah, let me stop sharing my screen so I don't expose emails.
I just want to grab that link and put it in the doc here. Does anybody else have anything?
Hey, Steve and Tracy, I had a call with my engineering team about Ortelius yesterday, and probably it would be better to have both of you on the call. I have a couple of things in my roadmap that I want to do with Ortelius. Do you have like some time today that we can connect as a common time frame?
Steve probably has more time than I do. I'm looking at Steve's calendar right now, and it looks like after Steve, you're pretty open today. I am not.
Yeah, what's tomorrow look like?
But today you're wide open. You have more availability today than tomorrow. I can do anything. I could do like a 11:30. That would be 11:30 Mountain, 10:30 Pacific.
Yeah, I think that works for me.
I will send you an invite, and then I'll if you want to. Here, I'm going to give you my email. If you want to send me the emails, I should add to the calendar.
Just my email.
Okay.
Just 3 of us should be good enough. I just want to have like a small roadmap.
Yep.
For my team and a couple of the additional presentations that we were talking about.
Yep.
Finalize those so I have a plan in place.
Okay, I will send you an invite for 10:30 your time.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, sis.
And we're like 1 minute over, but Anne Marie, could you kind of introduce yourself and just give us a little bit of background about yourself since you're new to the group?
Sure. Yeah. It's like, oh, let's find out more about what Ortelius is up to. Yeah. So I just came from IBM recently. I was the DevSecOps lead for the commerce platform. So it's like the portions of IBM.com that sell software online. And I just moved to Red Hat. So now I'm a senior principal software engineer over there, and I'm going to be working on developer tools for OpenShift. So hopefully my previous experience with Kubernetes and things like that as being an end user will help me have some empathy and help build some better developer tools in that area. So yeah, I just, I have a lot of experience as a user / developer / somebody who runs microservices in production. So that's kind of why this project makes sense for me.
Perfect. Welcome. Are you all signed up on our Discord channel and all that? Did you get that information from Tracy?
Tracy might have sent it to me, but I'm not on Discord yet. I'm not sure if that was in the docs. I'm in some Google groups.
Yeah,
Made it
you're
to
in-
Google Groups. All right.
Yeah.
One step.
Here, I'll be sure and resend that stuff to you. It may have gone in your spam because it comes out of my Woodpecker account.
Great.
All right. Well, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to say welcome aboard. Well, I wanted to say I work at Red Hat too, and I work a lot with OpenShift, so I can help you both. Here in Ortelius and in OpenShift side, I work for SDP AppDev, so it's pretty much that. So nice to meet you. Hope you have a really nice activities here. It's really fun. It's a really good and nice and fun place. So welcome.
Great.
And that just is a reminder. When you see people drop into the Discord channel, please send a personal message and welcome aboard. We're, especially with Hacktoberfest coming, we'll have a few new people drop in. So if everybody could do that, that'd be a big help. Anything else?
I just wanted to say one last thing. I want to say we were talking about the podcast. And Arvin is not here. Oh, he's here. So he is in the top of he already have like more than 10 downloads. So good job, Arvin. You're getting popular on Buzzsprout, and how we keep it in that way.
Good job.
Yes, we've made it past 10, which is great. Another million to go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much, and please, sign up for the service catalog, the online piece, and start doing some testing so we can get this out the door. We're trying to get things wrapped up. Work on documentation, do some testing, all part of Hacktoberfest. And we're going to kind of wrap these two together and make sure that everybody gets some good credit for the hard work that everybody's been doing. So thanks, everybody, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.